Welcome back for the afternoon session here in the 66 kilo man at the 2018 IPF Classic Powerlifting World Championships here in what I would usually say is sunny Calgary, but the rain is coming down, so we're all inside keeping warm at the moment. I'm joined in the box by Ryan, six-pack lap at that, and we're kicking off the 66 kilo IPF Classic brought to you by Alico, SBD and Uplift. So Ryan, I'm going to ask you, who is your money on for this session?
You know what? So looking at this, glad kick from Russia, two-time world champion. Quick stat on this guy. He is literally Mr. Perfect. In the last two world championships, did not miss a single lift. And let me say one more thing. In a field this tight, he can't afford to.
Yeah, look, I'm looking at that lineup, and it's a tough lineup. But I got to say, my money's on Gladkey again. You know, he just knows how to shine in those world champion events. He's got the experience.
With this squat, the U.S. are hoping Charles is going to win, possibly set the pace with the gold in the squat, and kind of force Gladkey in an uncomfortable position here. Keep your eyes heavy on Charles, as well as Stephen Cassioli from Canada.
So we're going to kick off the 66s with Odin Beata from Mongolia, 185. Yeah, we're going to see some nice little battles in this one, I think.
Also worth noting, El Bighetti from France, a fierce competitor in the deadlifts, has a world record in the equipped.
Well, we've seen it all week. You think there's a clear favorite, it's anyone's game.
No, this is going to be a tight race.
Odin from Mongolia kicking off his campaign at 185.
Oh, wow.
He's cut that short a little bit and struggled to get back up. Let's see what the referees say. And he has. He's just cut a little bit short, and you can see the struggle in that squat was realistically because he cut it so short.
Yeah, that was very high, and he really must have lost tension, or he got really wobbly in the hole there.
Yeah, he just pulled up that shy, maybe got a little bit nervous and thought he could turn it around a bit faster. Now, next lifter, Haruki Ikegami from Japan, 190. Now, the Japanese lifters all week and last week, their squat technique has been so proficient. I imagine Haruki is just the same. Let's have a look.
Japanese, very well-rounded team. Now, he's hit 222.5 based off nomination, so this should be well within his means. He obviously, when you're coming from Japan, massive travel, time zone change, so it's good he's opening nice and light. Looks good.
And he handles that very well, technically proficient. And he gets the 3 white lights. That'll knock some nerves off.
Yep. It frees up a little stress. Your foot's in the door, now you can play. Another shot there, depth is bang on.
Alamiya.
This is Amir Asatahazadeh. The bar is loaded. Easy for you to say.
195 kilograms.
His nominated squat is 240, which is an absolute monster when you think the world record is 250.
And he squatted 225 last year at the World Championships.
So 240, I mean, this is well beneath that. I don't know if that's his equipped squat or... Because 225 to 240 is still a pretty big increase as well.
It's a big jump.
Mm-hmm. I guess we'll see. Oh, that was plenty easy.
195 come pretty quick. Let's see where he goes from there. Danielle Ramola from Canada looking at 205.
He's one of 2 Canadians we got in the field. Nice little 1-2 punch for the home country.
Yeah, it's sort of nice when your World Championships are in your home country. You can send those couple extra people without the expense.
Canada looking to pick up some good team points in the 66 kilo men's.
And this is well below what he can do. He's got a 217.5 at the Nationals this year. And I think the 217.5 was holding back a little bit as well, knowing that the World Championships is around the corner.
Bar looks a little uneven on his back.
Depth looks very good. Yeah, bar looks a little bit offset.
Didn't bother him any. Nice and smooth, and that's why you open up well beneath your limit.
You can make a little error in your setup and those first lifts. The nerves are settling in. You rush something here. You just want to get it on the board. So yeah, it's important. You open up light, make a little mistake. It doesn't matter too much.
That's right. Did not slow him down whatsoever. Beautiful opener.
Antti Savalainen from Finland, 207.5.
Savalainen, he won the World Championships in 2015, and the competition is just getting stiffer and stiffer on him.
Yeah, he is a Finnish powerlifting champion, finished first this year at the Finnish Championships.
Well-traveled veteran, been to the World Games, won the World Championships. He's seen it all, done it all.
He lifted last year in the Equipped World Championships as well.
Very well done. Nice squat opener.
Kavwa Sichon from New Zealand, 210 kilograms. Oceania champion in 2017 and 2016, I believe. Oceania bench champion in 2016 and classic champion in 2017.
So he's got some international experience. He just hasn't traveled across the world to do it. And no bigger show than the IPF World Championships. Nice depth.
Depth is good. Just letting those knees fall in a little bit.
Notice that as well.
But he got them back out again. He gets 2 white lights, and that's enough to be on the board.
Sometimes when your knees come in, it shoots your hips up a little bit, and you don't appear to be depth on both sides. You got one red. The strike zone has been established.
Xiang Ting Sei, 215 kilograms.
Chinese Taipei. Best lifter in all Chinese Taipei in this weight class. He's also a Category 1 international referee.
Now he's hit 230 on his nomination. This is well below that. We're expecting this to move well.
Yes, he did 230 at the World Classic Championships in 2016.
Oh, a couple of years ago.
So, not really sure what he's done in Raw since then. He's competed in quite a few equipped lifts.
Wow.
Handled that well.
215 was nice and smooth. Got a lot more in the tank.
Hassan El Begitti from France, 220 kilograms.
He has an absolutely monster deadlift in him. Broken world records. Grizzly veteran.
He has broken the world M1 total record, world deadlift record, world M1 squat record.
23 years in the game.
And that was just this year he broke those records. So.
that was in a half a year.
Yeah, that was just this year. He's equipped and raw.
He's been doing this longer than some of the competitors have been alive. You're not going to rattle him. Work in the middle.
Yeah, look, that was a good choice on opening lift. He got a little bit off line there, but it was a light enough opening lift. He was able to pull it back in the line and not let the bar push him over. Stephen Cassioli from Canada, 227.5.
227.5 kilos.
Yeah, this is the Canadian champ. Nominated in 3rd place.
Bars loaded.
And he has a very big squat on him. He can threaten for the world record and take the squat gold, possibly.
Yeah, in those top few places, yeah, they're up for grabs in this competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've already seen how close the competition can be. One little mistake.
Yeah. Pretty smooth opener.
He handles that with
That's-
ease.
Yeah, that's plenty of room to move for Steven.
Alexander Coburn from Russia, 230 kilograms.
His nominated squat's 240. I'm assuming he's expecting to go way past that, because if he's not, 230 is very close to his limit for an opener.
Yeah, so he squatted 240 at the Russian Championships in March this year. And given how close it is to the World Championships, it's a good chance he's probably just holding back a bit at the Russian Championships.
You would hope.
But if not,
You're
that
a Coburn
230
fan.
is very, very close.
Yeah. And Russia, obviously, he's lifting within Russia. The travel, time zone change, etc. These variables were not at stake previously. They are now. If he smokes this, we should be frightened. World record is only 250.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell with the Russians on that
It
first.
is,
They don't like to give too much away. I'm almost tempted to say it was a little slow, but we've seen all 3 Russian lifters in the last couple of days. Their lifts don't look that fast.
I
So
don't know how I feel about that.
he certainly didn't give the expression that it was difficult. Now here we go, Charles Poco from USA, 240.
And he could definitely break the world record. He's ready to go toe-to-toe with Glackick. He is Glackick's chief adversary.
If
here.
either of these guys want the gold medal, they're going to have to work each other for it.
Glackick also opening at 240. We're going to see a toe-to-toe battle.
Wow, that was a very, very easy 240.
Yikes.
That
Beautifully
looked
done, yeah.
like a warm-up lift.
And, yeah, Glackick, despite opening with the same weight, he's got the lot number advantage.
So Sergey Glackick from Russia, 240.
His job, sportsman. Good work if you could get it. 15-year veteran. And let's compare his squat to Charles' squat. A lot of people think this is going to come down to Glackick. He's never missed, but if he misses one, Charles could take this.
If either of these guys make a mistake, the other one's going to come running in.
Glackick has been Mr. Perfect thus far. That's hard to
It didn't
tell.
look like the easiest opening squat for Glackick.
It never seems to for
Just
these
wasn't,
guys,
yeah,
though.
well-
Just, usually the second attempts you see a little more, I guess.
He's very, a little bit loose at the bottom, but we'll see how he goes with his second. Odin Beata from Mongolia for his second attempt at 185.
Odin Vienna, Mongolia, 185.
Now he missed his opening lift, just didn't get deep enough, and got into all sorts of trouble with his technique. Well, let's see how he handles his second attempt.
Just got to go a little deeper, get a little tighter. Ooh, I'll be on
He's
the line.
still on borderline again.
I'll
His
tell you what,
technique
though.
looked a lot better though.
Yeah, I was just about to say he looked a lot tighter, better.
Still not deep enough.
I'm
And he
more
has-
confident that he could do it after seeing that squat, though.
Yeah, and his technique was a lot better on that one. Just still pulling up a little bit shy.
He's getting better. He got a heck of a lot tighter. He's just got to go.
Just got to sink it on this last one. Haruki Ikegami from Japan, 200 kilograms. It's just a 10-kilo jump.
Yeah, again, he's hit 222.5 based off his nomination.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's been a little bit all over the place with his squats. You know, he's hitting 217s, 220s back in 2012. Competed last year at the World Championships, hit 202.
I'm wondering if that nominated was as equipped. And some people said they're equipped squats and numbers.
They do sometimes. They do tend to send in some odd numbers. Sometimes it's just to maybe bluff the other teams a little bit.
Yep.
Technique was great.
Yep.
It handles it. 3 white lights, and it's about the workload you'd expect for a second lift.
Asadala Zada. Asadala Zada. Amir. Bars order for Asadala Zada.
Mayera, 205.
205 kilos. Come on, Asadala Hazard.
Amir Asadala Hazada. I think I handled that last name well.
Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah, so I'm thinking that 240 on his nomination for a squat, likely in equipment.
Having to work very, very hard for that. Gavwa Sichon from New Zealand, 215 kilograms. Just a 5-kilo jump there.
And this, we're already entering into personal best territory.
So,
wow.
Looks like we're going to have a record attempt towards the end of this round already.
And Charles Poco with the 253, the world record's 250. He's actually really going to push this.
He's looking at giving it a crack.
Whoa, he almost folded.
Nearly got away from him there, and he just didn't get deep enough and gets 2 red lights.
We saw quite a bit of knee movement in his opener. A little unstable. Yeah, that's pretty high.
Danielle Ramola from Canada, 215 kilograms.
Ramola. Bars loaded, 215 on the bar.
Getting himself psyched up for this one.
I could probably anticipate the heavier the weights get, the more psyched up the lifters get. Rise the intensity for the occasion.
Finished second at the Canadian Championships.
Yeah, second to Stephen Cassioli, who's also in the mix here.
Yeah, that was a good 215. He handled that very, very well. Antti Savalainen from Finland, 217.5.
Savalainen, like a lot of Finns, very big in deadlifts. Opening second highest, only behind Elbighetti, who holds the world record equipped. Expect some deadlift battles for those medals.
There are going to be some huge deadlifts.
Yep. They will go toe-to-toe. Both of them also masters, by the way. Been competing as long as some of these other gentlemen have been alive.
Just shows that you just can keep getting stronger and stronger.
Yep. kept their nervous system strong. Nice.
A little bit of hesitation when he dropped into the hole there, but managed to fix that up.
10-kilo jump, handled it well.
Hassan El Baguetti from France, 227.5.
Hassan El Baguetti. 227.5 kilos. Bars loaded.
7.5-kilo jump.
So we're talking about them putting in their nominations. What was his nominated squat?
230.
230?
We're getting close. We'll have to see how well this moves. Born in 75, his progress isn't going to be like some of these younger guys. But he's
born in 75. He's a lovely young 43 years of age. Ooh, a little bit too much. Just couldn't get through that sticking point there.
You know, moving forward with just the opener was definitely not part of the plan.
Tong Ting Said from Chinese Taipei looking at 230 kilograms. It's a 15-kilo leap.
230 kilos.
I think this is getting pretty close to his PB.
Bars loaded.
Yeah, 230 was what I have. Was nominated.
2016, he kicked a 230 at the World Championships.
So here we are. Let's see how it moves.
Yeah, it's always tough to tell with some of these guys because they compete equipped and raw. It's sort of hard to know how their raw and equipped are developing. It depends on their competition load throughout the year.
Ooh, wow.
Managed to give it some work, and it wasn't the tidiest of squats.
He's going to be able to inch it up at most.
He gets it, but I don't think we're going to be seeing another 15-kilo jump from him.
That would be ambitious. Yeah, he gets that, but that was definitely work.
Stephen Cassioli from Canada, 237.5.
Bars loaded. 237.
Canadian national champion.
Coached by Ivy Silver.
The silver medal last year at the World Championships.
It's getting closer. His nominated is 248. He's still, it looks like he's going to be taking 10-kilo jumps. I'm expecting us to move pretty well.
Yeah, that's a nice second lift.
He had a little bit of a smirk on him.
A little bit of work, but not too much.
He had a little bit of a smirk on him halfway up. I think he knew it was coming. It moved slower in the opener, as you expect. It's a 10-kilo jump, but...
Alexander Coburn from Russia.
Room to spare.
Dobre Vitya to all our Russian viewers.
Ah, yes.
It's 10:30 p.m. over there.
Dobre Vitya.
Bar is loaded.
And Russia's fronted a pretty big team with this World Championships for such a long way to come.
All of them quality. All killers, no fillers.
242.5.
Yeah, he's hit 240 before off his nomination. We're already venturing into uncharted territory for Coburn.
A little bit too much there. Sunk it really deep.
Yeah, that was. We'll take a look at that slow-mo. I'm not too sure how we could, if it was a misgroove or what, but he barely got out of the hole.
Yeah, that was a lot deeper in his opening squat.
He actually fell back right into the back spot or lost his balance. If it was a balance issue and he could stay tight, maybe.
Yeah, he might be able to come back in and recorrect that. Sergey Goladkick from Russia, 247.5.
And so far, the streak continues. Mr. Perfect has never missed an attempt in 2 years straight at the Worlds. He is now 19 attempts straight. That's a hell of a streak. I don't know what the record is, but
that is one heck of a record, isn't it?
we are going to have to look this up and see if that's a record in and of itself. Let's see if somebody can push him to the point where he has to exceed his limits and miss one.
I think Poco is going to do that.
If anybody can.
You know, like we say, they don't give anything away on their first lift.
You know what? He helicoptered a little on that squat, and I got to think he's getting close to that limit. Take a look at this slow-mo here. You see him turn, and look how much the weights pivot on him.
Just had a bit of a knee drop in, and that turned him a little bit.
You do that with max load. This is only second attempt. We saw a chink in Mr. Perfect's armor.
Well, let's see how far the American can push him, because the American now is going to kick off the second attempt with a 2:53 for a world record.
And it should be noted, he didn't chip 250, so it's 250.5. He went up to 2.5 and then chipped that.
Chip some more.
And the chip, if it comes down to it, is a nice, well, chip to play because the person has to go up 2.5.
That extra half a kilo.
Strategy as well as impressive.
Well, he's opening.
Already, wow, he's all types of fired up.
He smoked his opening lift, so I can't imagine this being any different. I think you're about to witness probably the easiest looking world record you'll ever see.
Look at this guy. Look at his legs, arms. He is a jacked young man. Whoa!
He absolutely smokes that 253.
And there goes the world record.
Wow.
Take a look at this. Up and down depth all day. Never stutters in the pocket. No helicoptering on this young man.
He made that look easy. And Gladkick said, you know what? I'm going to chip your record. If you want it back, come and get it.
I wonder if Charles, how much further does he want to try to exceed this?
He has a fair bit left in the tank, but he also has to remember to save the end game as well.
I mean, when we say fair bit, we're talking what?
There's another 5 in there.
You think 5?
There's another 5.
Whoa, it's such a tough decision to make.
Odin Beata from Mongolia, 185.
He looked a lot better in the second. Just got to cut it a little deeper. Go deeper.
Himself under pressure, hasn't he?
He has. I think the strength is there. Technique got better and better. He's more and more warmed up. Just got to sink it. There we go.
That looks better. That looks like he's got it on the board.
Well, he waited to the third to hit it, but it's, yeah.
Nothing like waiting to the end there. He gets it on the board.
You can breathe a sigh of relief.
We have seen that too many times this week.
Yep.
And it's causing quite a lot of stress for us.
It does. I don't know why I'm so emotionally invested.
Haruki Ikegami from Japan, 205. Yeah, I think 205 was a good choice. To do the 10 kilo jump to start with, and now just a 5. And Charles from the US has put in a 259.
Wow. He saw your 5 and raised your 1. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be dramatic, sir. And Gladkick also was no given to break the record. He had work on the second.
Yeah, he had to work for a second. So Haruki from Japan, 205.
Okay.
Gets it to the top.
That was a well-placed third attempt.
He had to put in some work, but he gets it on the board.
Yep, I think that was well-placed. Even 2.5 kilo more would have been dicey.
Almeida Asadola Hazard for looking for 210.
Bars loaded, Amir, Iran. 210 kilos.
All the way from Iran, 210 kilograms. I think that's the longest last name we've seen so far.
I think you might be right, sir. $1 a day. See a lot of these guys. You look at their legs, the vascularity through them. They cut weight. They are large for this weight class. Whoa, that's way too deep. Good catch by the spotters.
Way too far down there.
Yeah, you're not coming back. And he thanks the spotters. Take a look here. You can see in the replay. Way too. Yeah, that was.
That was a 210 kilo pause squat. Gavwa Sichon from New Zealand, 215 kilograms.
Missed this on a second. I mean, we're venturing 10 kilo over his nominated squat. He was 5 kilo over his nominated squat with his opener. Really pushing the envelope here.
Yeah, I mean, he was squatting 205 last year at the Oceanas.
He's never hit this weight before. Obviously, you're looking to improve.
That is a big call, 215.
Yep. See if you can make some adjustments and hit it.
Those knees really dropping in. Let's see if he was deep enough, and he was. He gets 2 lights on the board.
Well done. Always builds your confidence. When you miss one, come back and hit it.
Danielle Ramola from Canada, looking at 220 kilograms.
Pacing himself well, did the classic 10-kilo jump followed by the 5.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a smart move. You've got the end game to think of as well.
Yeah. It's a big opportunity for Canada. 2 lifters in here. You stay in the pocket and bring your team some points.
Gets the depth.
Plenty depth. Oh, nice fight for it.
Gets it back up. I think
yeah, that's about as good as he could get. Well placed.
He handled that well, didn't he?
I don't think he had a single kilo more. They got everything they could out of their lifter. Well played by the Canadian team.
Savalainen from Finland, 222.5.
The 2015 world champion. He's got a lot of world records and titles to his name.
17 years competing.
17, and he has got a deadlift on him. Any world championships, doesn't matter if he's 25 years in the game. You better watch yourself.
$222.5 kilograms. Depth is good.
Oh, he stays in the pocket
for it, and he handles it.
Wow, that was a nicely placed attempt as well. 3 whites.
He had to work, but he gets it to the top.
Exactly. I mean, the name of the game is filling up that cup as much as you can without it tipping over, and some of these guys are hitting it beautifully.
Hassan El Baguetti from France, 227.5. He missed this on his second attempt.
And look what we said. El Baguetti and Savalainen were going to go toe-to-toe in the deads for that medal. El Baguetti is kind of emptying the tank in the squat event, whereas Savalainen...
Yeah, he's using up a lot of steam.
Yeah. We'll see if that'll cost him later.
Hopefully he's running the 98 octane fuel. Because if he's running the 92, he's going to have a hard time at the other end. That looks a lot better.
That looks tons better. Let's see what they say about that.
Didn't get as deep on that one, but not deep enough either.
I thought it might have been the situation. We could take a look at this slow-mo replay. It was right on the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we're on the side that got the white light.
Yep.
Sang Ting Say, Chinese Taipei, 235.
The boss loaded. He's a powerlifting coach. He's been lifting.
This is going to be a personal best for him. A powerlifting coach who apparently practices what he preaches.
235.
This is a pretty big squat. 230 was big. It matched his personal best, and we thought it was work.
And 235, you know, and it's really hard when it's that much over something you've never done before.
Yep.
You know, if you're hitting your PB 230, yeah, you've done it before, so the mind's in gear. It's like, yeah, okay, I can do this. You know, you add another 2.5 kilos and the mind's still, yeah, okay, I can probably handle it. You throw out 5 kilos and the mind's like, you know what? And he handles it. He looks like he has a new personal best of 235.
Well done.
Alexander Coburn from Russia, 242.5.
Bars loaded.
Talking about personal best, again, this was his second attempt. It was his personal best. He's going to try it again.
242.5. Got down a bit too deep in his second attempt.
Depth dessert. Nope.
And again, a little too deep.
Keep the spotters and loaders a big round of applause for fixing that one. Yes, spotters and loaders, yes.
Stephen Cassioli from Canada, 245.
All right, Stephen Cassie.
Now, this is within his limit, and he should be able to hit this. Looking ahead at the projected, he's in the hunt. He wants to get on that podium, but he's got some stern opposition
Yeah, so
closing
you know,
in on him.
for him, this is
Silver
important for
lining.
him to get this one.
He is within 5 of the Chinese Taipei, and Sivalainen's within 2.5 of him. It's going to be quite the battle to get on that podium.
Yeah, this one will keep him in touch, and you know, like we said earlier, I mean, if one of these guys misses a lift, makes a mistake,
So
that door's going to swing wide open.
even though Steven's within his limit, sometimes you push it, sometimes you stay within the limit just to pick up another attempt. Nicely done.
All right, Glad Kick is going to be kicking out next at 253.5. Has the American pushed him out a little bit, broken that limit.
Mr. Perfect has never missed yet. His second attempt was
Well,
work.
This attempt's a world record of 253.5. Has the American put some pressure on him to make him
No
just
question.
go over the edge there?
There's no question this is new for Glad Kick to feel pushed like this. I mean, he's not having it his way, and we have a contender that's joined, that's going to push him to new limits.
253.5 kilograms to take the world record away from Charles Poco from the USA.
Glad Kick hasn't missed in years at this level. If he finally does fail one, now that's rattling
And
when
he-
you've only had it your way.
And if he fails one, what does that do to his position and his confidence for the rest of this competition?
Confidence will be rattled, and his position isn't firm.
So he is looking at stealing that world record that the American just set a few minutes ago.
It's looking a little shaky. Depth.
It's
Wow.
a little too much for him.
And the streak is broken.
He's pushed him to the edge.
Is that a sign of a possible changing of the guard? We have never seen Glad Kick fail at the Worlds in years, and
Yeah.
Acapulco has pushed him to it.
There's two things that can happen here. It rocks his confidence, and we see a changing of the guard,
Or
or someone pushes him to fail, and it gives him the drive to come out even harder in the bench and the
battle
deadlift
back.
and teach him a lesson. We will wait and see. But we have got another
Whoa.
world record attempt
That
now.
that was not in the script.
That was not. Charles Poco just broke the world record at
Charles-
253 and now has tipped it up to 259.
Now you could say Charles is in charge.
That was terrible.
Our Brits in the booth here have no idea what I'm talking about.
None whatsoever.
That's okay. That was for us then.
259 kilograms. This is massive.
You look ahead at the projector. We got a lot of weightlifting to go, but
I said I thought he might have had another 5 in him. Another 6
Wow.
and a big call.
Charles is revved up.
But I think he has it in him.
Depth for sure.
Way too deep on that.
Yeah, too deep. And he kind of emptied the gas tank a little bit.
Way too deep.
Yeah, I think when he watches that, he's going to say, yeah, that was a little.
Yeah, I sunk that down a little bit too low.
Yeah, that was way deep.
We're only in the squats, and it's already started to heat up. We've had multiple world record attempts, a world record set already. Glad Kid's getting pushed. Charles is pushing him as hard as he can. It's going to be very interesting to see what effect that has on Sergey from Russia, whether it drives him a bit harder or his confidence is rocked.
You know, if you're looking at the projected, now Glakic, he's actually trailing. He's never missed walking into the bench, and he's trailing, and he has to catch up.
This is uncharted territory for Sergey. All of a sudden, his projected total has put him in second. You know, he's behind a little bit. You know, the opening bench presses, I mean, Charles has got him on the opening bench press again. So,
Opening neck and neck in the deads.
This will be an interesting story to unfold over the next couple of hours.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this.
So don't go away. We'll be back in about 20 minutes to watch these guys hit the bench press. And can the Russians surge back?
Whew.
And we are back at the 2018 IPF Classic Powerlifting World Championships in Calgary, Canada. About to kick off the bench press, and we have seen a bit of an upset here in the squats.
Yep.
Glide kick forced to make an error, which we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Mr. Perfect, after 2 world championships, finally missed a lift.
Wow, got pushed just to the edge there.
That's what that means.
Taken
Charles.
over the top. And what's going to happen with the bench press now? Has that fired him up, or is his confidence rocked?
And Charles is actually opening heavier than glide kick, and I'm told this is going to be an easy opener for Charles.
So we are about 1 second away from kicking off the bench press with Amir Asadollah from Iran, 125 kilograms.
Come on, give him a round of applause. He hails from Iran, 125.
125 kilograms to kick off his campaign.
It's going to be interesting to see how some of the guys in the hunt for the total handle their openers, give you a little bit of an indication how far they are and can push it.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for some of these guys to pick up a couple of extra kilograms.
It's going to come down to it. It's far too close now.
And that was a nice, easy opening lift for Amir.
If glide kick goes 2 for 3 in the bench, that stretch really starts widening on the defending champ.
It's going to make a difference. Haruki Ikegami from Japan. Yeah, I mean, right at the moment with the predicted totals, glide kick is staying in touch. But if he makes a mistake...
how weird is it for us to even saying glide kick is staying in touch? It's almost
it's
glide kick in the
usually
lead.
the other way around.
Yeah.
Everyone chasing him.
Yeah.
130 kilograms for Haruki. Really taking his time with his setup. Not leaving himself much room if he has a re-rack call or if there's anything wrong. It's a nice big arch.
Yep.
Handles that 130 very, very well.
3 whites.
Hassan El Belgheti from France, 132.5.
Now the deadlift is really his biggest event. Just looking to grab some kilos, struggled in that squat event.
Yeah, we're talking about, we're so busy talking about USA and Russia with their opening bench presses. Ramola from Canada is a massive 160 opening bench press.
Yeah. Yep. That's probably his sharpest weapon he can bring to the fight.
Hassan El Belgheti from France, 132.5.
I mean, there's a reason when Canada houses 2 lifters. There's a reason. They ain't put them in there for nothing.
Both of them are solid. Handles that very well.
Yep.
And gets 3 white lights. Odin Mayera from Mongolia, 137.5. And the bar's loaded for Odin.
Bars loaded, Mongolia, Odin Mayera. Mongolia, 137.5 kilos.
Some of the fellas in the media team were saying, did you use the commentator's curse on glide kick?
Hey,
I said, hey, Charles is the one who pushed him.
Yeah, don't put this on the whole commentators team. I'm not putting a curse on glide kick.
I would say the young man who broke the world record in his second attempt is the one that pushed glide kick to that.
Wow, look.
That's work, isn't it? Whoa.
That's work, and I'm not sure if he just dropped the bar down as he lifted.
Yeah.
He does get a red light from the head referee. The 2 whites, he's on the board, and that was a lot of work.
Didn't leave himself a whole lot of room to grow. Yeah, definitely 2.5 to say the least, and that's going to be a tough one for him.
Stephen Cassioli from Canada, 145 kilograms.
He's hit 155, so this is giving him good 5 kilo jumps, should he feel so inclined. Should have lots of room.
Yeah, look, he pushed a 150 earlier this year in the Nationals.
And he has hit as high as 155, so depending on his day. Nicely done.
Very well handled. Now, next lifter on 145 as well, Alexander Coburn from Russia, 145.
Bars loaded, Alexander Coburn, 145 kilos.
I have on his nomination 155, so once again, should be within his means, expecting a smooth opener.
And he pushed a 152.5 earlier this year at the Russian Championships as well, so 145 shouldn't be too hard to manage. He's a very, very well-placed arch.
What's the problem here? Okay.
We've got the start call.
There's a moment of hesitation for that start call. That's why you open light. You might have to static hold it for a
Still able to
while
handle
first.
it, and he had to hold it there for quite a while. He did get a red light from the head referee.
I didn't see any movement or...
Sergey from Russia, 150 kilograms.
150 kilos.
So Gladkick has hit 162.5. This should move well for him.
Yeah, look, I can't imagine 150 being too much of a problem for Sergey.
I'm expecting this to move fairly smoothly.
Yeah, very easy opening lift.
Back on track. Perhaps a new streak starting.
Let's see how we go. Ryan's just taking another shot at putting the commentator's curse on him. Ryan doesn't value his well-being. If we get a visit to the commentary box from the Russian team,
Yeah, that's right.
Antti Savalainen from Finland, 150.
Pretty big bench opener for someone who's known for their deadlift. Usually the big deadlifters don't have big benches, but Savalainen, there's a reason why he's won the world championships. He's
Yeah,
well-rounded.
absolutely.
That was nice.
Yep, handles that opening lift very, very well.
Yeah.
Lift is good.
Sung Ting Sai from Chinese Taipei, also looking for 150.
Chinese Taipei, 150 kilos. On deck, Poco.
And I think his best raw bench is about 157.5.
And
170 they've got on our other page there.
Sun Singh really putting himself in a position now to get on that podium. We're going to have a scrap between him, Stephen Cassioli of Canada, and Savalainen, the Finn.
Well, he handled his opener very, very well.
Yeah. There's going to be a big battle to make it onto that podium.
Now here comes Charles Poco from the US of A with the 155.
I'm told by the American team they're expecting this to be a nice, smooth, easy opener.
Bars loaded, Charles Poco, 155 on the bar, USA.
Charles got the lead on Gladkick and looking to keep it.
155. Not even our biggest opening lift. Here's a fantastic setup.
Yeah.
Very easy opening lift.
Right on the money with their expectations.
Gets one red light. It looks like the referee might just be saying hand lockout. The lockout of the elbow on the right-hand side. Kavwa Sichon from New Zealand, 157.5. Another very, very big opening bench.
Bars loaded, Kavwa Sichoni.
And keep in mind, there's actually going to be medals for each event, so some of these gentlemen that are going to finish off the podium in total got a good opportunity here to grab some medals in the bench event.
Now, this is a big opening bench for him. He's hit a 160 in a bench-only championship.
That's a little different, though.
But during the 3 lift, he hits a 152.5. This was last year.
Let's hope he's improved and this moves like an opener should. Self lift off.
Yeah, quite a narrow grip, too. A little bit harder work than what you'd want for an opening lift.
Not sure how much more he's going to go from there.
And Danielle Ramola from Canada with an absolutely massive opening lift of 160.
Ramola, if he can move this like an opener should move, is in a great possibility to grab some medals here in the bench openers.
And I think it will. He pushed 169 at the Nationals this year in Canada.
Going over his bench lift off. You want no surprises.
Yeah, there's nothing more exciting than a surprise with 160 on the bar.
That's exciting. Not in a good way.
Holy. He absolutely smoked it. Wow, what a bench.
Grabs his back, though. That tightened up his back.
Tight
You see
there.
that?
A little bit tight there. Might just be a little bit of cramping.
There's also, these guys cut a lot of water, dehydration. That happens.
Could be a little bit of cramping. Could be a little bit of pain in the SI joint there. So Amir looking for 132.5.
Asadallah Hazada, Iran.
So he competed last year in the World Championships as well.
First lifter of the second round.
$132.5. And he handles that well.
Nicely done. Pacing himself well here.
Hassan El Baguetti from France, 137.5.
The 23-year veteran.
Now, he has hit 150 before and above. But he's also been doing a lot of equipped lifting over the last couple of years.
Come on, Hassan El Baguetti.
5 kilo jump from his opener.
Really taking his time. That's about the right amount of work you'd want for a second lift.
Yep. pacing himself well here. A little shaky in the squats, rebounding well for the bench.
Haruki Ikegami from Japan, 137.5.
This is going to be a little bit bigger. A 7.5 kilo jump. It's a decent jump for a 66 kilo lifter.
Yeah, it's quite a large proportion to jump in this weight class.
kilos. On deck is by
Wow, some of these guys are using up a lot of the clock to get their setup.
Oh, it's slow.
He has to work. There's a little bit of wobble on his chest. Just didn't look like he landed it where he wanted it to.
He's definitely going to need...
Yeah, he really had to put in some work there.
He's going to want a small jump now from there. Yeah, I would say 2.5 kilo, and even then...
Even then, it's going to be right on the edge of his tank.
Mm-hmm.
Odin Beata from Mongolia.
The Mongolian 2.5 kilo jump. He really pushed it in his squats, missed his first two. He's a lot more comfortable in the bench press event.
Yeah, he had all sorts of trouble with depth on his squats.
Yeah, things got a little bit dicey.
Ooh, he's having to work hard for this. Don't think he's going to get there. No, he doesn't.
He might end up going 1 for 3 in the bench as well. And attempt selection is the name of the game.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy expenditure on a second lift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lost lat tension right there. You see, and he was...
Stephen Cassioli from Canada, 150.
5 kilo jump. Now his 145 moved very well.
Yeah, he gets it back up there, but boy, that was some work.
Same weight.
Perhaps a smaller jump for his third.
Alexander Coburn from Russia, 150.
Bars loaded, Alexander Colvin, 150 kilos.
Yeah, it's a 5 kilo jump. I think he should handle 150 pretty well.
Yeah, he's hit 155, so 150 should be within reason. We'll see how smoothly it moves, get a good indication of how far he wants to jump for his third, though.
He has a very big arch, particularly for his build.
Wow,
And
that
he
moved
handles
very
that
smoothly.
very well.
At least 155 for his third.
Lift is good.
Antti Savalainen from Finland, 155 kilograms, getting really close to his best lift now.
17-year veteran.
Bars loaded.
Savalainen's won it all.
Finland, 17 years competing. He is an art director. He's got 155 kilos on the bar.
And if he gets this, he is neck and neck with Cassioli for third. They'll be getting that far behind. Oh, well, there you go.
That was quite well handled. Don't know if there's another 5 kilos there.
I would say, here's the thing. You reach for 5 and you miss. Cassioli only went up 2.5. Well, then there's the difference. And they're neck and neck. So you can't get greedy.
Yeah, I think the smart move would be going an extra 2.5. Sergey Gladkick from Russia, 157.5.
Also should be noted, Savalainen is the bigger deadlifter. So stay neck and neck in the bench and pull ahead in the deadlift. You see how he could possibly maneuver his way to a bronze. We'll have to see how it plays out. So Gladkick, can he put his streak at 2?
We are definitely getting a visit from the Russian team.
Wow, handled that very well.
Thankfully for our well-being. And he did handle it well, 157.5. He's got some work to do though. Sung Ting Sai from Chinese Taipei, 160.
Yes, that progression of the sport. Young guns come in out of nowhere. And by no means is Gladkick old and past his prime. He is still enjoying his prime, but the young lions, they circle quickly.
Yeah, and Charles is such a young competitor in the Opens.
This is his first year in the Open. Oh, nicely done.
Out of 1.
Fairly smooth.
And was 160.
Lift is good.
And actually, the Chinese Taipei lifter on the projected with that has nudged ahead of both Cassioli of Canada and Savalainen of Finland.
The big man himself wants 162.5.
As long as he doesn't get overzealous, stays in the pocket, he is now the leader.
Let's see, handles 162.5.
All right, Charles, there we go. Is the right weight on the bar for Charles? All right, as long as they have the next load, they're all right. You get some new clock. Charles, you got a new clock.
Just been a little bit of a technical issue with the board. They've just changed the board, and Charles will get a new clock. So he has plenty of time to get ready. Not that he needs it.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at that.
He has so much left in the tank, and yet he's just smashing some huge weights here.
Carvois from New Zealand wants 162.5 as well.
All right, it's loaded cowboy Shoshone.
Be interesting to see who's going to get the medals in this event.
Yeah, it's shaping up for a bit of a turnaround in the medal for the bench press.
You know, Charles started off 5 kilos behind Ramola of Canada, and if they both get their second, he's only 2.5 kilos. You see, it's starting to close.
Yeah, the gaps are starting to close up a little bit.
It's not where you finish, it's where you end up. Cavua got some long arms and a close grip.
Yeah, that bar's dipped, and he's not going to get through that sticking point. Danielle Ramola from Canada, 165 kilograms, the biggest bench press so far.
And 160, we thought, all right, maybe he's opening ambitious. No, that was an easy opener for him.
It certainly was.
See if 165 slows him down. And I'm expecting us to move like a second attempt should.
Bars loaded. Bars loaded, Danielle Ramola. 50, 165.
And you'll see he's going over his handoff every time he comes out, and that's the way you should. Some people are like, well, tell him the first time. Look at these guys. They've done so many
These guys
handoffs
have
throughout the
been
day.
working around the clock
If you
for
expect
nearly
them,
2 weeks.
if you expect them to remember you and exactly how you want it,
And you know what? The second time you come out, it doesn't take the whole conversation.
yeah.
You know, it's just a quick
A
facial
reminder, yeah.
reminder. And that's it. Gives the spotters enough information to know, ah, yes, I remember.
Oh, wow.
Good second lift.
He
Just
looks
smoked
like
165.
he looks like a pretty good bet for the gold. I'm expecting
he
another
is
5 kilo
He is
jump.
definitely a contender for that gold medal on the bench. We'll come round to our third round here. We see the Japanese lifter has opted out and scratched his third lift.
And you know, that's not a bad idea. If you think that your second attempt was the limit, for 2.5 kilo, don't empty the tank. Save it for the deadlifts.
So Amir Asadullah Hazada from Iran, 137.5.
Asadullah Hazada. This is Asadullah Hazada.
137.5.
Bars loaded. Amir.
And his bar is loaded. Really taking his time.
5 kilo jump from his second attempt.
Which has proved to be too much. Just a little bit too much there. Hassan El Baghiti from France, he wants 140. These are some big lifts for 66 kilo man.
Bars loaded.
Just getting everything exactly where he wants to be. Tightening up a little bit.
Oh, the brakes came
Just
on
a
quick.
bit too much. And these boys pushing themselves in their last lifts. Really pushing themselves to the limit in these last lifts, aren't they? Odin Beata from Mongolia, 145 kilograms.
Now, interesting enough, he missed the second, opted to go up in weight regardless.
Yeah, look, he has had a few little problems today.
He had one squat, and I thought he missed the second out of strength, so I'm a little puzzled why he went up 2.5 kilo after that.
Yeah, it was some interesting decisions.
He might leave the bench with one lift as well. At least he's got the one lift, and he gets to move forward into the deadlifts. You
Yeah,
gotta tighten up
the
your
142 and a
attempt
half is an interesting choice for this lift because it wasn't just a technicality.
He's got to tighten up his attempt selection.
Yeah, and he just can't get there, so he's going to leave with just the first lift.
I mean, it's all part of it, and now he's going to start gassing out without credit
he's
for it.
expelling a lot
Without
of
credit
energy.
for towards his total. Like, as long as if you're going to expel that energy, nailing lifts, at least you built the total. But when you get
Yeah,
one,
he's expelling the energy for no positive gain.
yeah, it's a tough.
Stephen Cassioli, 152 and a half.
Now the total opposite of expelling energy for no reason. Steven has not missed a lift yet. Really building this total and positioning himself to threaten for that bronze medal.
Well over twice his body weight. Well over twice.
Over twice his body weight loaded on the bar.
Stephen Cassioli, 152.5.
I think this 2.5 kilo jump is appropriate.
Yeah, look, this is incredible. These are big lifts, and they're not even our biggest lifts yet.
Oh. That's a fight
look,
for you.
That's going to be a tough call for the referees on this one.
Jump that command? Yeah.
And he has, but he got 2 wide lights, and that is enough to go on the board.
He really gave a scrap for that last bench.
He had to earn every gram of that one.
Very rarely can you grind out a bench like that. Hats off to Stephen Cassioli. He wanted it. He knew it was at stake. Not just that bench in particular, but the overall total. He has a lot of people all over
that
for
was
that
an
bronze.
important couple of kilos.
Yeah.
Alexander Coburn from Russia, 155.
15-year veteran of the game.
There is so much experience on this platform this week. It is crazy.
Yep. What's going on here?
He's taking a while. Not quite sure what the referee wanted there.
We
Might have been feet.
We're not close enough to see the hands, if the rings, or can only see 1 foot, so there could be a variation of reasons. Nope.
Yeah, they've taken it out of him, hasn't it?
Quite the static hold.
All right, folks. We have got
And that's why the greatest bench presser of all time, Jen Thompson, practices her static holds with double what she normally
She certainly
benches.
does. Antti Savalainen is looking at a world M1 record at 160 kilograms.
Current record is 155, which he matched, but you can't match records to make the record book.
Nope, you've got to beat it, and he's going to give it a fair whack.
5 kilo over it. That's a big jump.
Just making sure no one else comes after it in a hurry. 155, setting M1 records, competing in opens.
world record for Antti. He was born in 1978. 40 years young.
160 for a world M1 record. And it's just a little too much. Probably over reached for that one.
Yeah, he didn't need 5 kilo to beat that world record,
Yeah.
obviously. Maybe 2.5 would
Yeah,
have
it's a
been.
big call. I mean, throwing the extra 5, I mean, it's great to really smash a record like that, but he didn't need to go that far.
20/20 hindsight, I suppose.
Kavwa 162.5.
Bars loaded, says Chris Rob.
And look at Charles from the USA. He is putting 167.5. That's a monster bench press he's going to be doing shortly. Now, Kavwa missed this on his second attempt.
If you're wondering what the world record is for the 6'6" class, you don't even want to ask. Because that would be
it is
Eddie
ridiculous,
Berglund,
isn't it?
211.
It is crazy.
Oh, this butt is way off that bench. He's draining his tank for no reason.
Energy.
He was never going to get that regardless. As soon as it came off his chest, his butt flew off the bench. You're going to see this in a slow-mo. Pay attention here.
And there it goes. You can see the
see
light coming
daylight right-
through.
So all this is just gassing for no reason.
Yeah, you know, you've got to lift smart.
If you feel your butt come off like that
if you
much.
really think you're going to grind out and get the extra kilos on there, absolutely. But if you're wasting that much energy for a lift that even he gets it up, it's going to be a no lift.
Yep.
All right, so Sergey from Russia, 162.5.
A lifter that does not make many mistakes. $5 kilo jump.
Wow, he's having to work, and I think it's too much, a little too much for him.
But just, that was
It was
close.
very, very close to
You know,
pushing that up.
It's,
He's having a rough day at the office today.
for a glide kick, yes. For a man who's had, 18 straight attempts, good, and 2 years straight at the Worlds, never missing a lift. Every event now, we see a miss. It's really opening the door for these contenders.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone else, this is a good day, but for Sergey, this is a pretty average day at the office for him.
Very true.
Sung Ting Sai from Chinese Taipei, 165 kilograms.
This would temporarily move him into first place in the bench event. But Ramola is going to attempt only 2.5K over his second attempt, which he absolutely smashed. Whoa.
That's a lot of work, and it's not going to happen.
Nope. And the spotter is doing a great job there.
Charles Okpoko, USA, 167.5, and the 162.5 looked like a second warm-up.
Look, if he gets this, he's really starting to put his foot on Glad Kick's throat. Their opening deadlift is right neck and neck, but Charles is starting to pull ahead, and nobody foresaw this would happen.
Here comes Charles.
167.5. His opener was fast. His second was almost as fast. And so is this one.
Holy.
Wow.
And now you got to start, if you're a Glad Kick fan, wondering, how does he pull this out? Is he starting? It's weird to say, but does Glad Kick actually consider defending silver before he attacks gold?
Yeah, it's a tough decision for him, isn't it?
Not something he's ever had to consider.
And Danielle Ramola is looking at 167.5. Now, if he gets this, he's a little bit lighter than Charles and will take the gold medal in the bench press. A lot of missed lifts on the third attempts. Just shows how far these guys are pushing themselves.
Come on, Canada.
Wow.
And he will steal the gold medal in the bench press.
That is a monster bench press for
That
a
was
66-kilo lifter.
If he gets 2 white lights, and that's enough.
Gold medal in bench for Danielle Ramola of Canada.
Well, that brings us to the end of our bench press session. And I've got to say, Glad Kick's having a really rough trot in the office today. Usually he shows up for work, has a pretty easy day, takes a bit of a lunch break, heads home after dinner.
Has a coffee,
But I've got to
catches
admit,
up at the water cooler.
Today he is really overloaded. Charles is pushing him to the absolute limit. And now, you know, Glad Kick's got some work to do if he wants to try and catch up. And I can't see how he's going to catch up that far without risking the silver medal.
Here it is. The competition is so thick and so deep. If he tries to overextend for that gold, the silver's at risk. Never before have we seen Glad Kick in a situation where he actually has to have this conversation. Do I go for the gold or defend the silver?
Yeah, he's in a position where he's not really used to now. All of a sudden he's looking at the Canadians saying, well, you know, are you coming up behind me? There's Chinese Taipei there. They're all coming up behind, biting at his heels. And he wants the gold, but he wants to hang on to that silver too, or he's going to go home with the bronze.
How special is Charles Okpoko? We might be witnessing the emergence of a new 66-kilo superstar.
Yeah, I mean, there's a solid chance that we've got a new champion on their way. Well, don't go too far away, because in about 20 minutes, we're going to find out who the new champion is. We're going to come back here, watch these guys pull some absolutely monster deadlifts. Our biggest opening deadlift is 265 kilos, which is absolutely huge for these 66-kilo lifters. And it's going to heat up in those top 3.
See you soon.
Welcome back. We have got the show heating up here this afternoon in Calgary, Canada at the IPF Classic Powerlifting World Championships, brought to you by Eleco, SPD and Uplift. And we are going to come down to a showdown between the top contenders. USA has pushed Russia to the absolute limit. We have seen a mistake from Gladkick, who doesn't often make mistakes.
That's for sure.
And now he's finding himself in a position where, for the first time in a very long time, he has to either chase someone down or defend his silver medal. And I don't think Gladkick's going to like the feeling of having to defend a silver medal.
Yeah, he might just load up and pull for the win regardless. We'll have to see. Lots of lifting before we have to make those decisions.
Yeah, well, we'll see the opening lifts here, and we have got some absolutely monster deadlifts, and we've seen a few changes in openers as well. So Kavwa from New Zealand looking at 225. Just getting his belt in the right position. The only piece of equipment a lifter can adjust on the platform is his belt.
That's a bit of work for him.
Wow, that was a rather awkward-looking sumo. But he gets 2 white lights, and that's enough to go on the board. You know, just noticed that Elbogetti from France has changed his opening lift to 287.5.
Yeah, a lot of teams back there thought that was a rather low opener by Elbogetti.
Yeah, because, you know, 260, 270. That's such a low opening
Well,
lift.
for Elbogetti, who's a world record holder,
287.5 is a huge lift for a 66 kilo.
But he has really emptied the tanks in the squat and the bench event.
It's going to be very interesting to see how he goes. Odin Beata from Mongolia, he's looking for 235 to open his day. And the clock is running down. I can't see him coming.
He needs to register a total.
He has to put a lift on the board if he's going to get a total.
He might as well, if he's injured, drop the weight, hit an opener, and gotten a total, not bombed out. Because this is...
Well, the clock's running
here's
down.
some Mongolia now coming. He better hustle.
Looks like he might have got a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah.
He's got himself 12 seconds on the clock to make his lift. Not a lot of time.
Wowzers, no. He set himself up no time.
Just didn't have time to set up. And it looks like he might have actually strained his back a little bit.
You know what?
That's why.
Attempt selection's been off for him all day. They really should have dropped his opener to get some positive momentum going. 1 for 3 in squats, 1 for 3 in bench, and now, you know, he misses his deadlift opener.
So Danielle Ramola from Canada looking at 235.
And that's what you want to do. You don't like where it is? Move it. Before you try to
we
pull
saw
it.
We saw a little bit of a have a half pull and then move it earlier.
Yeah, Filimonova.
And she got called out on that one though. 235 kilograms.
Nicely done.
Gets it to the top, locks it out. Thank you very much. 3 white lights. Haruki Ikegami from Japan wants 237.5. And the bar is loaded for Haruki.
So at this point, you don't want to gamble away a total. You also don't want to start too high and expend everything on your opener. Nice, smooth. It's the way to pull.
So his best lift recently, 242.5, I think.
You know, I got 222.5.
It's interesting. So he hit a 242.5
Oh,
the
sorry,
World
260.
Championships last year.
So I have a 265 on his nominated, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a good chance he might have been putting in his equip numbers for... gets that to the top. Ooh, struggles to lock it out and hold it.
And there,
But
yeah.
he gets away with it, 3 white lights.
So your body can move around. It's the barbell itself. And the barbell itself stayed while he moved a little. That's okay.
Stephen Cassioli from Canada looking at 240 kilograms.
Just a quick note, the world record deadlift is 285.5.
So El Baghetti is looking at opening on the world record.
And it's really an all or nothing thing too, isn't it? And he's not even, he's going a whole 2 kilo
hasn't
over
chipped it.
the world record.
We've got Stephen Cassioli with 240 kilograms, which I think should be a good opening lift.
And it is.
And it is. Pulled 252.5 at the Canadian Nationals this year, so 240 was a pretty cruisy roll in for him. Amir Asadullah Zadar from Iran, 245 kilograms.
The bar is loaded for Asadullah Hazada, 245 kilos.
This should be a pretty good lift. He did 257.5 last year at the World Championships. So I'm not expecting him to struggle too much with 245. Probably a little bit tougher than you'd want for an opening lift.
Yeah, it was work. Now here's the man of the hour.
Charles Okpoko from the USA, 247.5.
Oh, glad kick actually moved up his deadlift opener, trying to cover some ground. I hadn't noticed
I didn't pick up on that, so glad kick picked his up to 255.
They were opening the same, and that obviously gives Glad Kick the opportunity to see what Charles lifts, and he goes afterwards.
Yeah, let's have a look, and let's see how Charles goes at 247.5. And that looks like every other lift he did.
That looks
warmer.
Yeah. Well, if Glad Kick wanted to see what the American's doing, it could be a little scary.
Now know what the American's doing. Alexander Coburn from Russia, 250 kilograms.
Bars loaded, Alexander Coburn.
250 kilograms. Shouldn't be too bad. 262.5 at the Russian Championships earlier this year.
Yep.
And looks like
Actually,
250 was
opting to do it beltless, no less.
Yeah, beltless lifting on the deadlift. You can see a few of the guys will opt out of the belt. They sometimes find the belt just gets in the road and they just can't get that breath in that they want.
Famously, Joy Namani won the 52 kilo class. No belt in squats, no belt in deads.
Sung Ting Sai from Chinese Taipei wants 250. This shouldn't be too bad. It's at 267.5 and been consistent around there for the last year or so.
His nomination has 270. Oh, I love the
Came up fast.
I love the unclasping.
But he gets two red lights. Did. Looks like his knees might have been a bit soft there.
That's a close call. They could probably go to the jury.
Sergei Gladkick from Russia.
Okay, Gaston's getting
We
up back.
actually are having some movement from the jury, so
I gotta agree. If the jury's saying, "Look good,"
and his coach has popped over to the jury table as well. So Sergei Gladkick from Russia, 255, and this is going to give us a real indication if he's in a position to chase down that gold medal.
Look at Gladkick as an absolute warrior and a champion.
Yeah, if you want that gold medal, he's not going to make it easy for you.
No, absolutely not. And this could actually pull him within range. Smooth.
Very smooth opening lift.
Yep.
And that brings him a little closer.
This is going to be such a dramatic finish. You can feel it already.
All right, here's Antti. He's a former
Antti Svalanen from Finland, 265 kilograms.
Parts loaded. Antti Savalainen, 265 kilos.
The M1 world record is 270.5. Keep that in mind as
We
Antti,
might
who is
see
an
him.
M1.
Might see him have a look at that.
He's opening at 265.
Sumo puller.
He cannot chip because he's pulling in the open.
Has to do the full 2.5. And
Nicely done.
265 was very, very clean. Hassan El-Baghetti, 287.5.
2 kilo over the world record. 2 kilo over the world record. He doesn't even have to do
record
that.
attempt. So this is M1 and open world record.
Who set that yesterday, right?
So this will be an open world record and an M1 world record.
Pulled 285.5. So he's taking
287.5. This is a monster
This is
opening
all or
lift.
nothing. He's got the equipped world record. Now he wants the unequipped world record.
Wow. This is an absolutely huge lift.
He literally, it's like he told himself, it's all or nothing for me. I don't care about the total. I just want world records.
Now, he has pulled 300 raw.
Talk about high risk, high reward. Yikes. He's missed a few lifts along the way, too. Really expended a lot. Oh,
But he's not going to miss this one.
wow. Huge deadlift by Albaghetti.
3 white lights.
One of the
For a
greatest
couple of world
deadlifters.
records to open his
Yeah.
deadlift.
Wowzers. Speechless. I mean, I thought that'd at least be work.
Kavwa from New Zealand looking at 230 for his second attempt.
Kawasi Shoni, a manufacturing
5 kilo jump.
2 years.
Yeah, not a very big jump for a second lift on deadlift. 5 kilos is fairly conservative.
And it's also quick note, the lift for the Chinese Taipei lifter has been overturned and it'll be a good lift. The one where with the knees? Was that the lift of the Chinese Taipei? Yeah. We had thought maybe the knees were locked.
Yeah, and we
the
saw
jury
the
thinks so as well.
jury have a bit of a chat as well, and it's just been overturned.
Sigh of relief for the Chinese Taipei lifter. And he's going to move up 20 kilo after finding that out.
That's a big jump. Wow, he's finding it tough on the deadlift, isn't he?
He is, but he's
And
game.
that's why he's only gone the 5 kilos.
He's game for it, but yeah, that's and that good move. Hey, look at
Yeah,
if
look,
it-
that was
heavier than
actually
you
a really
thought.
smart move. You know, his opening lift was tough. So he's gone to 5 kilos and it's paid off.
Okay, Albaghetti, just so you know, is putting in the second attempt a 297.5.
Wow. Now, as I said before, Albaghetti has pulled 300 raw before, but he hasn't done a lot of big international competitions raw since then. He's been doing a lot of equipped work. But the way his 287.5 moved, I think it's certainly within reach.
I wouldn't bet against him.
Odin Beata from Mongolia, 235 kilograms. Wow.
Like,
He's having a rough trot. That was,
but we've been saying this all day where the attempt selection has just been way off.
you have to play the
Way
end.
off.
You have to play the end game. And you know what? In 235, he might hit any day of the week in the gym. But he hasn't had to travel to Canada from Mongolia. He hasn't had to do all the squats and bench press as well. Grind 2 of them out,
They
grind 2 of them
didn't
out.
time up the warm-ups. He missed his first attempt due to that. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, he's going to running a big risk here of not registering a total. So Haruki Ikegami from Japan looking at 245. Looking at Gladkey's numbers. I think he's made the decision that he's going to try and peg down the American.
If the American misses his second and glad kick hits his, glad kick's in the lead again. He's not going away.
Yeah, a little bit too heavy on the second attempt from Japan. 245, just proving too much. So Danielle Ramola from Canada, our next lifter at 247.5.
Ramola, just a phenomenal bench press. Looking to build on that good work in the deadlift event.
247.5, and his 235 Oprah, he smoked it.
Let's go, Daniel.
Yeah, he's got a lot left in the tank.
Daniel, 30 seconds, Daniel. You got all day.
Go.
Ooh, tough in the lockout, but he gets it up there.
Yeah, it was definitely work, wasn't it? He's happy with it.
Gets the 3 white lights.
Probably doesn't want to make a major jump for his third.
Stephen Cassioli, 252.5.
Now, Steven, I mean, this is, to get on that podium is getting very tight.
It's getting tough now, isn't it?
Especially with the Chinese Taipei lifter. That 20-kilo jump is a bit of a Hail Mary. I'm not sure how to process that.
Yeah, 250 to 270. You know, his 250 yet was locked out, but clearly it was just borderline for the referees to pick that.
And then you got El Baghetti, who is just killing it in the deadlifts, covering so much ground so quickly.
I think he's a clear gold medal for the deadlift at 287.5.
Yeah.
Even if he misses the 297, he's still going to be tough to beat.
Big question will be, can he pull himself onto the podium? But first, well, we know Cassioli's got more in the tank.
Cassioli handled 252.5.
Yeah, very well done.
Like it's a couple of toasters.
Yep.
All right, how about Asadallah Hazada?
Amir from Iran looking at 252.5.
Iran. Asadallah Zadeh. Thank you. Gaston. Bars loaded. Asadallah Hazadeh.
252.5. Amir Asadallah 252.5 kilograms from Iran.
Oh, it's work, but he's got it.
He had to work for it, but he got it to the top.
We're nearing the end,
Not
my friends.
a whole lot in the tank there, is there?
I would say 2.5 kilo. Okay, so let's see where Charles rests after this pull.
So he is pulling for a world record total. World record total of...
Already in only a second attempt. That's the type of day that Charles is having.
Charles Poco from the USA looking at 260. And this is going to give Gladkick a really good idea of just how far Charles can go.
He is really extending glad kick at this point beyond anything anybody else has ever done.
The Russian coach will be watching this lift.
Yeah, in the back.
With great interest.
They got a screen back there, and they're going to be hovering around it, believe me.
And they want to know if this is pushing him at all.
He doesn't look very worried.
Pretty confident.
Oh, no.
That was easy.
Oh, no, glad kick.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You got your work cut out for you, mate. You're going to run him down.
He didn't even get fired up for that one. He's saving it. Oh.
Well, I don't think it matters what Gladkick does. He's going to be tough to run down.
Gladkick was banking on him missing that and him getting his second and pulling into the first, but Charles was not even close to straining, let alone missing.
Did not even falter.
Oh, my gosh.
Alexander Coburn from Russia, 265.
So the Americans now are going to watch glad kick and try to estimate how much they have to push him for their final deads, because Charles will pull first. It's a bit of a guessing game.
Well, that's a little bit too much for him.
Yeah, so they have to literally watch glad kick and estimate how many kilos he's got left more in the tank, and then change the last deadlift to that. I mean, it's a guessing game.
Here we are, 265 for glad kick.
Glad kick's got to put
Sportsman from Russia.
He can put on a poker face, but the bar speed really doesn't lie, does it? This is quite the battle. Wow, this is entertaining stuff. Glad kick can easily hit this, and if he gets his third as well, force the American in an uncomfortable position. And there's Sergey Fedoshenko helping handle him, one legend with another. Got to feel a little more confident with Fedoshenko behind your back.
Glad kick won the World Championships last year. It had a 270 deadlift a year ago.
He's going to need to do more than that today.
Yep, 270. Not going to cut it.
It's nice. It is nice. Sumos are always
speed was pretty much the same as his first one.
Yeah, sumos are always slow off the ground. Don't read into that. Wow. I mean, what number should the Americans put on then?
Yeah, I mean, if you're the American coach watching that, you're like, yeah, well, I don't really know.
How do you read exactly?
Should we take a guess on that one?
You basically have to, but if you guess too heavy for Charles and he fumbles the ball in his last attempt, nobody will let you live it down because he gave it back to glad kick.
Is there a too heavy for Charles? Because he looks like he hasn't even changed gears yet.
Yeah.
He's driving a 5-speed and he's still in first.
Yeah, you might be right.
Sung Ting Sai from Chinese Taipei, 270 kilograms.
20-kilo jump from his opener. This is a huge deadlift.
And he just can't quite hang on to it.
I'm not sure why you take such a huge
It was a
jump.
massive jump.
I mean, you got 3 attempts.
Antti Savalainen from Finland looking for an M1 record total. So this is for a world record total in the M1 at 275 kilograms. Now his 265 was pretty clean. But 275 is a big task.
Yep, Savalainen is a deadlift machine.
Now he hit 275 this year in March. Has his body recovered enough to do it again?
I had Tom Keane in the booth after he won the Worlds in M19 or 74. He said, if you see a Finn in the group, wow.
He certainly has recovered enough to hit it again,
Yeah,
and he's got plenty more in the tank.
Tom Keane told me, if you
gets
see a lifter from Finland in your flight, immediately look over at his deadlift opener because he's going to have a big dead.
He certainly has, and here comes another big deadlift. Hassan El Belghetti from France for a massive 297.5 kilograms to break the world record that he just broke.
First he breaks it, now he's taking it for a ride.
He is going to own it.
One of the best deadlifters in the world today.
And to give you an indication of just how heavy that is, if you can see the bar, it is really hard to put a flex on an Eleiko bar. Those things are stiff and strong.
Yep.
And look at that thing wobbling and shaking around.
El Belghetti might just deadlift himself right onto the podium, let alone that gold medal in the deadlift event.
There's a good chance of it, 297.5.
What a come from behind. I mean, he was messing up on the squats and the bench, had a very rough day, and look at this.
297.5 kilos. This is an absolute monster of a lift. Just finding the spot he wants.
Such a technician in the deadlift. Like an artist working with his tapestry. It's got to be ready. Sit back and enjoy.
He's going to get his hands on that waffle line and pull the toe straight out.
I liked mine better. Oh, wow.
He fights for it. He's got it up there.
What?
And he gets the down command.
You know what I liked about
white
that?
lights.
At lockout, despite how hard it was, despite it looking like it's going to come out of his hands, the look on his face with the pride he brings to this.
He absolutely owned that world record.
Look at the expression on his face as though, I'm going to stay here all day if I have to. Whoa.
That was an absolute monster of a lift.
Such
You don't pull a tapestry that easily.
What an art! He's an artist out there. It really is something beautiful to watch.
Odin Beata from Mongolia, 235 kilograms. Now he is in all sorts of strife here. He's missed his opening two lifts. Misses this one. His total is out the window.
I mean, he'll bring the strength, but the Mongolian coaching
I
team,
just don't think the 235 is there.
I think they somewhat fumbled the ball putting some of these weights on the bar for him. And he's coming out late for the second time. I mean, this shouldn't be happening. He should have been ready on the side. Unless he's not coming out.
235.
He might not even be
he
coming
hit
out.
210 at the World Cup a couple of years ago.
I
I
think
think he's going to let it time down.
Yeah.
What a shame, and what a really unfortunate way to finish your world championship.
You got to adjust. If it's not there on that given date, open light. You got three attempts to cover ground.
We keep saying this, to open on the side of caution. And 235 was just too big a ask for him.
As anybody watching right now, take this message. You don't make ground or add to your total with your opener. It's just to get your foot in the game, yeah.
You've got to get that first one on the board, and he'll let that time out. And we will move on to our next lifter, Kavwa from New Zealand, 235. It's a no lift, and what an absolutely disappointing way for him to finish his campaign. Kavwa from New Zealand, 235 kilograms.
5 kilo jump. Now 230 was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, this is going to be tough.
That's to say the least.
I thought they might have even only put 2.5 kilos on, but they've gone the 5.
See if he can ramp himself up for this. Oh my
It's
gosh.
a little tough.
Yeah.
I don't think, even if he locks, I'm not sure if he's going to get that.
back. He got the down command, but those shoulders weren't back.
I
A
don't
good
think he's
display
got
of heart.
And he doesn't. Puts everything into it, but just couldn't quite lock it out.
Oh, the heart is willing. He's a strong guy.
And great sportsmanship, just coming out to shake the hands of all the referees.
Like to see that.
Haruki Ikegami from Japan, 245. And we missed this on his second attempt. It was just a bit too much for him to get moving.
245 kilos. Bars loaded.
Looking to leave it on the platform.
Well, expect him to give it everything he has. He is going to give it everything he's got. If he can get it moving off the floor, he gives himself a chance.
Nope.
Just a bit too much.
Hats off to him. He came out, answered the bell.
He gave it a crack. So we will move on to Danielle Ramola from Canada, 252.5.
And he's definitely having a good day.
Getting himself in the right psyche for the lift out the back there. Got his headphones in.
Bars loaded.
Got his favourite opera Music playing in the background.
Yeah, Beethoven, Bach. Now you see his feet are pointed towards us. That's the type of sumo you can actually grind out a whole lot more, not lose
the
your
opportunity
balance.
to pull back, give yourself some balance.
And he is.
And it's just a bit too much for him.
Gives the judges a handshake.
But a big effort. And Stephen Cassioli will come out for 262.5 kilograms.
Stephen trying to at least temporarily put himself on the podium, and then we'll see.
There's no telling what's going to happen with these guys. So Sergey's put in a 277.5 for his third attempt, and Charles has put in 267.5.
Those can be changed. Now, Stephen's going to have to pull a personal best. He's never pulled this heavy before, but he's pulling to get back onto that podium.
Yeah, so here comes Cassioli for 262.5. It's a big ask. If anyone can do this,
He's
it's Cassioli.
Very consistent today. Oh, wow. It's a fight.
It, and it's just a bit too much of a fight for him. He gave it everything he had.
It was the right move to make.
265, Alexander Coburn.
Alexander Coburn from Russia looking at 265. He missed this on his second. He just couldn't get it moving. I think he's going to have a hard time getting it moving this time as well. Yeah, it's been a tough run. I mean, the Russians have put up a valiant fight in every single flight they've been in, but it is really tough to go against Canada and the US when they've had to come so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't give up very many easy wins, Russia.
He's got this one moving.
Oh, wow.
And he just can't quite hang on to it. But boy, did he give that the biggest effort.
Hats
and
off to him.
He's just got a little bit of a blood rush there and feeling a bit weak in the knees.
Look at that spotter. Has
Nothing
been bang on
unusual.
all day, even with helping out the lifters.
Yeah, spotter came in really
Recognized
fast
it fast, eh? Hats off to him, the spotting and loading
He got
crew.
in really quick.
That's Luigi, I believe, the big gentleman who caught him.
He has been doing a great job today.
Absolutely.
He has caught some very, very untidy squats that could have gone very badly.
Yep, he's been on the ball. And he catches another lifter.
Sometimes when you try and pull a weight that big, you just get a little bit jelly in the knees and a little bit of a head spin. So we will have Amir Asadolazada from Iran, 265 kilograms.
If he gets this, he moves into third place, but it should be noted not a single lifter has got their third attempt yet.
They are pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
And I'll tell you who else, what else. You know Charles doesn't want Gladkick to get his third attempt. He'd be just fine for this trend to continue, because if it stops now, Charles is your world champion. Let's see what happens.
This is a big lift. His second lift was tough. Had to really, really work for it. He's working it. He's not going to get the lockout. Just a bit too much. He's a bit disappointed in himself.
He's upset. But, I mean, he came really close to that bronze medal in the deadlifts.
He gave that everything.
Now, listen, not a single lifter has got a final attempt. And what are we, 8 lifters deep? You know who's up next?
Charles is up next. He does have the option to change up until bar loaded is called. But I don't think he's going to.
Trying to extend Gladkick beyond his means.
Now, it's an interesting situation because I think Gladkick is actually far enough in front.
Gladkick far enough in front.
In front of El Bagelti if he wants to pull for the gold.
Gladkick might, well, we'll discuss in a minute, but I got a feeling Gladkick's going to go out on the shield going for the gold.
I just can't picture Sergey settling for the second without giving it a shot.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, sir.
Oh, he handles that well.
He might have had
that
a
was
lot
the
more
first time I've seen him actually work
now
a little bit.
Now it's, I mean, it's tough. Did they leave any kilos on the table? If Glad, I mean, this is all-time greatest total, so that's easy for me to say. But I wonder, can Glad Kick pull this off?
Now here comes Chung Ting Sai. Now he's got a current predicted total of 665 if he gets this lift. So he's on 270. He missed this on his second. It was just a massive jump from his opener at 250.
Yeah, he could very quickly go from 7th to 3rd and get the bronze in the deadlift.
But it puts Gladkick in a really good position. He has nothing to lose.
The only thing is this is far beyond what Gladkick has ever done. That's what the Americans wanted to do.
Absolutely. You've got to push him to the limit, and they did.
The odds are not in Gladkick's favor based off of history and what he's done previously. But, oh, my God, if he needs a miracle, here we go. It's going to be entertaining, I'll tell you that right now. And then we still got Albigetti, the master himself, so...
Wow.
I don't think his knee...
Oh, and he can't hang on to it properly.
I think his knee was soft. He couldn't... No, it's too much... Yeah.
2 red lights.
This time I got to agree.
Just a bit too much for him.
Yeah. That's just too much of a jump. He could have got an intermediary dead in there.
We've got an attempt change. An attempt change is going in.
For who?
Gladkey is going to pull for the gold medal.
Yeah.
For 285.
To be expected.
I imagined he would have. I couldn't see him lying down and letting him run away with that without giving it a crack.
Listen, his nominated dead is 265. That's 20 kilo. It's gutsy, but
Antti Savalainen from Finland, 280 for a world M1 record total.
Albigetti might deadlift himself into silver and beat Gladkick. Actually, no. I think it's too big of an ass
to pull him down.
I think it's too big of an ass. I think
knows he's
Gladkick's
safe.
got nothing. Yeah, I think that's why he's made that decision. But Savalainen is trying to deadlift himself onto the podium right now, and he just might do it.
So the most Gladkick has pulled raw is 270.
Yeah, that's well beyond his best. I think the Americans really pushed him beyond his means. We're going to find out shortly. But first,
let's look. World record total M1.
2 deadlift machines are about to battle it out for a podium finish. Do you like deadlifts? You're in luck.
Wow, he's had a fantastic day so far and looking at finishing it even stronger.
Oh, wow.
He's moved it fast. Can he lock it? I don't think he can lock it out.
Before lockout.
Quite.
It was a great effort. What? That was locked out. Oh, my gosh.
It looks like...
let's take a look at this slow-mo right
like
here.
From our angle, we were wrong.
Those... okay.
This is a world record in total.
Now, Gladkick is looking at 285. If he pulls this,
this is
he
going to be the
steals the
craziest.
gold medal for the American, and he gets the world total record as well.
It would be the craziest comeback I've seen, and I've commented every session for the last 3 years.
285 kilos, more than he's ever lifted raw before. And we know he can handle it with his hands. He's lifted well above this, equipped.
Listen, if he pulls this off, everybody in the house has got to be...
This is for the gold medal. He knew his silver was safe. He put it on there. He is going to give this everything to make sure Charles has to work for it. Just too much, even a bit of a smirk as he walks off there.
Well, I mean, hats off to him for
trying. He had to make sure Charles earned that gold medal.
Yeah, he did.
Now we have a monster deadlift, 302.5.
Albigetti, the artist. painting a masterpiece right now with 302.5.
For a world record.
Let he who hath understanding reckon the number.
666.9 pounds.
Born in 1975 and showing these kids how to do it.
Wow.
The number of the beast. Fire and crimson.
43 years of age in the opens and showing these young fellows how we deadlift in the 70s.
And of course, Gino's going crazy with that 666. Oh,
302.5 kilograms.
Albigetti.
What a monster way to finish this session.
Is there a finer deadlifter in the world? Albigetti is just putting on a clinic. Enjoy the show.
We've run out of plates.
Oh my gosh. Breaking into the 300 kilo barrier in the 66 kilo class.
302 kilograms. This guy weighs in at 65.6.
I mean, it's just hard to wrap your head around right now.
This is absolutely massive.
Yeah, this is the stuff you're going to talk about at the water cooler the next day. It's going to be a thing of beauty when he pulls it off.
The bar's going, everybody. Put your hands together. Everybody, put your hands together. Come on, everybody.
Over 4.5 times body weight.
302.5 kilos.
Oh,
666, the number of the beast.
here's the master.
302.5, more than 4.5 times body weight.
Does he have one more masterpiece in him today? He's already given us so much.
It's a big ask.
Oh!
Not today. Almost got that moving,
Yeah.
but he already has a world record. Wow, what a finish. Sergey taking it to the end. Wow, so Charles goes away with a gold medal, but Sergey certainly said, you know what, I'm going to give it a crack.
You know what? I expected Sergey to go out on the
Oh,
shield.
look, I would have been disappointed if Sergey didn't put on the 285. I mean, he knew his silver medal was safe. Why not take a crack at it? You know,
Can I say something? Even if his silver medal wasn't safe,
I think he still would have done it.
in my mind, that's where I hold
Yeah,
Sergey.
look,
I go out on my shield, ladies and
I think
gentlemen.
he still would have done it.
Yeah.
You know, so he'll finish with the silver medal overall, which, you know, look, absolutely fantastic. We've seen a bit of a change in the guard. And this Charles, he's going to be hard to stop in the future.
What does this say? Sergey, he was winning those titles so definitively, never missing a lift.
Yeah.
People were showing up saying, well, this guy's invincible anyways. And Charles, first year out of the juniors,
All of a
to
sudden,
take it to him like
taking
that.
the World Championships in the Open, his first year out of the juniors. I'll tell you what, the excitement's going to keep going because after the medal ceremonies this afternoon, we've got the 63-kilo women as well, which is probably one of the most heavily contested events.
We've been
in this
spoiled today
cycle.
already. I
Yeah,
feel
look, it's
to end off at the
fantastic.
63s, the battle of the 63s, probably the most heavily hyped of all the women's.
Absolutely.
You
Look,
can't miss
It's
this.
just going to get better. So don't go too far away. We'll be back this afternoon with the 63-kilo women.
lifters, please line up in the back in your country's track. So Charles is in charge. Charles in charge. Ladies and gentlemen, handing out the medals in this session are Robert Keller, Secretary General for the IPF. Give him a round of applause. And Connie Smith, Technical Secretary, Chairman of the IPF. Give him a round of applause. Here we go, our first category. Open, 66 kilo weight class, open category. The squat, the bronze medal winner from Canada, Stephen Cassie. Silver medal winner, Russia, Sergey Gladkick. And with a new world record, big round of applause for the gold medal winner, Charles Poco. Photos. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on to the bench press now. In the bronze medal position, Chinese Taipei, Zhong Ting Sei. Zhong Ting Sei. Silver medal winner, United States of America, Charles Poco. And the gold medal win, Danielle Ramola. Canada. Photos. All right, let's move on to the deadlift now. Bronze medal winner, United States of America, Charles Poco. Silver medal winner from Finland, Antti Savolainen. And with a new world record, hailing from France, Hassan LVPT. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on to the total now. The bronze medal winner, hailing from Finland, Antti Savolainen. Silver medal winner from Russia, Sergey Gladkick. And the gold medal winner, hailing from the United States of America, Charles Poco. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. Big round of applause for all of our winners. That's right. All right, let's get some exiting music, George. And then Marshall will escort our lifters off the platform. Come on, give him a round of applause.